You're listening to AI PRISM from Seoul Economic Daily.
It's Wednesday, June 10. Let's look at a business story shaping corporate Korea. Does this week's news require a board-level decision on AI governance, China supply chain compliance, or Korea capex timing? Let's start with AI governance. You've probably heard the buzzword AX being thrown around lately, which stands for AI transformation. But Samsung is taking it from a corporate buzzword to a literal forced update for their human operating system. I mean, how aggressive is this top-down rollout?
Well, 50-plus presidents attended a mandatory AX boot camp this month.
Wait, 50?
Yeah, and 2,300 executives complete a 3-day AI training by August 12.
Wow, okay. That is a massive top-down OGBall mandate. It's essentially a forced software update for their entire leadership tier. But it makes you wonder, does this rigid structure actually stifle agility right now? Or is this heavy-handed approach absolutely necessary to drag legacy businesses into the future? They seem to be prioritizing total alignment.
Right, well, Samsung deploys 3 external AI platforms to 280,000 employees.
Right, so they are explicitly trading short-term agility for sheer brute force scale. And, they're pushing this massive internal spending while the broader macroeconomic picture is surprisingly resilient, which gives these conglomerates the financial cover they need to invest so heavily. What do those economic indicators look like right now?
So, first quarter real GDP grew 1.8%.
Okay.
And first quarter nominal GDP grew 10.5%.
10.5% nominal growth is massive. That kind of liquidity directly fuels corporate capital expenditure or, capex. We're seeing that immediately in the semiconductor space. Instead of just manufacturing chips, they're pouring cash into what's called regional packaging, basically stacking and assembling advanced chips much closer to where they're fabricated to speed up supply chains. What is the actual timeline for that physical expansion?
Samsung and SK Hynix finalized 2 regional packaging investments.
That added capacity is critical. But regional capex doesn't just depend on domestic GDP, right? It's highly sensitive to currency dynamics right next door. Like if the Bank of Japan shifts its monetary policy, that impacts the yen-to-won exchange rate, which alters exactly how competitively Korea can export these newly packaged chips. What exactly is the BOJ doing to influence this?
A Bank of Japan policy rate hike targets 1.0% on June 16.
June 16, got it.
And 19.9 trillion won, or roughly $14.4 billion US dollars, funds monthly purchases currently.
That is a massive amount of ongoing market intervention. Over $14 billion a month, just keeping things stable. But while the monetary environment might be highly managed, the geopolitical environment is definitely not. Let's pivot to China's supply chain compliance. The Pentagon just updated its Section 1260H Blacklist. This is the specific registry of companies they have linked to the Chinese military. If you're managing a cross-border supply chain, you urgently need to know who just got flagged.
The U.S. Defense Department added 188 Chinese companies.
Adding nearly 200 entities at once is a huge sweep. For a C-suite listener who might be relying on some of these Chinese vendors for raw materials or tech components, this is an absolute compliance minefield. What is the actual countdown clock for cutting ties with these suppliers?
Direct contract bans take effect at the end of June.
End of June. That's so soon.
Yeah, and third-party procurement bans activate in January 2027.
So direct contracts are basically dead in a few weeks, and you have until 2027 to hunt down and clean up your indirect suppliers. Man, we've covered a lot of ground today, from Samsung forcing AI literacy onto its executives to booming capex to sudden U.S.-China procurement bans. If you were sitting on a board in Seoul right now, how do you synthesize all of these competing pressures?
Well, Samsung's AX mandate undeniably resets the AI governance benchmark for Korea-adjacent boards, proving that AI literacy must be directly tied to leadership accountability and hard training deadlines. Concurrently, the Pentagon Blacklist requires immediate legal review by your compliance teams before the end of June direct procurement ban activates against these Chinese entities. Together, these internal mandates and external pressures force immediate board-level decisions, shaping a shifting domestic market, #COASTPI, where lagging on AI adoption or geopolitical compliance creates compounding risks over the next 12 months.
Exactly. Think about how those two massive shifts collide in your own operations. If your entire organization successfully adopts AI, but does so using hardware sourced from blacklisted vendors, did you actually innovate, or did you just automate your own compliance violations? That's today's AI PRISM, CEOs. This episode was produced with AI assistance based on Seoul Economic Daily reporting and reviewed by a human editor. AI PRISM is a 1 IFRA award-winning series. We'll be back tomorrow.
You've been listening to AI PRISM from Seoul Economic Daily.